Hi, it's Gary. Welcome to today's video. Now, I don't know about you, but I often hear people telling me how good they are at multitasking. Well, guess what? They're wrong. It is not possible to multitask and to be efficient and productive. When you're in a multitasking mindset, what you're doing is you're constantly switching your mind from one thing to another. Now, that causes an increased cognitive load. You also stop thinking about ideas completely. You start with an idea, but then you switch to another task. You lose your thoughts. You get distracted. You end up wasting time by having to refresh your mind with the details of each task multiple times every few minutes. So why do people multitask? Well, today's society, it expects us to do more with our time. Information, it's within easy reach. Data comes to us from all over the world via the internet. We've got those electronic devices, they're blasting us with notifications. They're demanding our constant attention. Our phones, they go everywhere with us, even to the toilet. And people, they often consider us rude if we don't immediately respond. A lot of us, we also work in open plan offices. People, they walk up to us at any time and they expect us to stop what we're doing and have a conversation with them. With all these distractions, well, we've become accustomed to constant interruptions. These disrupt the flow of our work. Now, modern work, it's very much knowledge-based. We often have many projects running at once. I don't know about you, but at the moment I've got about 20 different projects on the go. Each of these, they've got deadlines. And some of them, they may be quite close together. We feel the need to switch between them to make sure that we're moving forward on all the projects. And it's not unusual to switch between projects every 15 to 30 minutes. We may even end up revisiting the same project multiple times in a single day. This, it's all inefficient. We need to change the way we do things. We need to move towards single tasking. The idea with single tasking, it's to reduce that extra load. When you single task, you start with a piece of work and then you process it until you can go no further. You do not watch the clock. You do not set arbitrary limits. You just keep going until the work is finished. To do this, well, we need to make some changes to the way we react to things. We need to spend time to change our own mindset. What the idea is, you're going to go from being a reactive person to being a proactive person. Now, some simple steps, they include things like turn off the notifications on your electronic devices. Turn off the bings that you get for an email, for a message. Certainly, turn off social media alerts. And if possible, remove social media apps completely from your phone. I mean, who cares what your best friends, uncles, mothers, wives, sisters, aunties, cousin had for breakfast? We don't care. Just turn them off. You don't need them. They are not adding any value to what you're doing. Put your phone into silent mode. If something's important, well, what will it do? They'll leave a message. If something's really, really important, drop dead, end of life important, they'll find another way to get in touch with you. No one's going to die because your phone is not answered immediately. Mindset change. Can you move away from your desk and go and work in a quiet place? I know many years ago when I worked in an open plan office, if I wanted to get something done, if I wanted to concentrate, I would just book out a small meeting room and go and sit and work in there so that people would know that I'm doing something, they wouldn't interrupt me. If you need to work in an open plan area, well, try and stop people coming up to you. Yes, people are going to think you're being rude initially, but don't worry about this. You're there to work, aren't you? Not to socialise. And once they start to see the benefit, they may actually start to do something similar themselves. Now, some strategies for this, and this first one sounds really weird. Put earphones in or headphones on. The key here, though, you don't actually play anything. People think that you're listening to something, even though you're not. You've just got them sat there in, and they walk on by. They don't stop because they think they're going to be interrupting what you're listening to. Really weird, I know, but it does work. Another one, which I often use, is I would put up a sign asking not to be disturbed. Again, I trained people, if that sign is up, it means I'm busy, I'm doing something, do not come and disturb me. Again, it takes a while, but people will eventually, they'll come and start to respect that. Someone comes up to you, well, all you need to do is instead of engaging, just say, sorry, I'm busy. I'll make a note. In front of them, write down a note. Usually I used to use a post-it to get back to them. And then say, right, I'll get back to you when I'm finished. So, will this benefit you? Yes, it will. The benefits of single tasking include things like a reduction in stress and brain ache. Rather than constantly switching tasks, and that means every time you switch a task, you've got to try and keep all the details of everything in your head. You're getting rid of that. You're only concentrating on what is important for the current task. Do you know what? That reduces the stress. It reduces the amount of work your brain has to do. You'll find once you get into this single tasking mode, you'll actually get more done. Switching between tasks means that you need to spend time to record your progress, to close down your files, locate the new project files, read up where you were on that new project, think about what's next, then to start doing it. That can take anything from 10 to even 30 minutes, depending on what you're doing. Not only does it take time, though, it takes mental energy. It drains your brain. It drains the amount of energy you've got. It disturbs your flow of work. Once you're single tasking, you get rid of all of that. It gives you more time. When single tasking, you're able to concentrate on the project. You can think through in detail what needs to be done, and guess what? It will increase your productivity. The final benefit from single tasking, you complete your work faster. And this, I know I've left it till last, but it is a really important benefit. And often it's not fully appreciated. When you single task, you complete your work faster. You're not messing around with all the other stuff we've talked about. You're just getting on. You're doing what you need to do. You're delivering better results. You're becoming more productive. So, quick summary, multitasking, very inefficient. Society, though, it expects us to be multitasking. We need to push back against this. We need to say, no, that's enough. When we work in a single tasking mode, we become more productive. You'll complete your work faster and quite often with improved quality. Yes, this is going to take time because we're going to be changing the way we're working. We're going to be changing our own mindset, but also we're going to be changing the mindsets of others. We're aiming to get rid of unnecessary distractions. And this includes things like, device notifications, phone calls, unnecessary drop-ins. Concentrate on one piece of work and you'll reduce the extra load on your mind. That reduction also reduces lost time, which is what you take to switch between tasks. So these are just some of my thoughts on multitasking. I can go on for hours and hours about this. Multitasking, such a bad way of doing things, but something we are all expected to do. What's your experience been with multitasking and single tasking? Have you been able to make that switch? Why not drop a comment down below? Let's kickstart the conversation. Please hit the thumbs up button. Every time you like, every time you comment, just helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel so that you can get new videos as I release them. I'll talk to you again soon.